And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, best sounding station possible. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature, philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube page of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have the actual audio masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami, with a hotspot in the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Border. Charlie, got a copy?
And Charlie had mentioned that he might not be with us this afternoon, so we'll be looking for Charlie next Friday afternoon. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, and this is Jim, and sometimes known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're running now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut 1 in that series. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Well, let's open it up now. Without further ado, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out. Give me a shout. Charlie 3 Victor Hotel Delta. This is Nate in Washington, Pennsylvania.
Roger, Victor Hotel Delta. You say you're in Washington?
Roger, Victor Hotel Delta. You say you're in Washington? Roger that. Just a little south of Pittsburgh, a little east of Wheeling, West Virginia. Down here in Ohio River Valley.
Roger. What's the name there?
Roger. What's the name there? I go by Nate, sir. November Alpha Tango Echo.
Yes, sir, Nate. And what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
KV. I'm a little late. KC9VKV. K1G. Pushing 100 watts through an inverted V, 80-meter dipole.
Roger, Nate. I wonder if you could do me a real big pleasure. Charlie just checked in, and if I could handle Charlie, and then I'll be right back with you, sir. It'll probably be about 10 minutes. If you could hang out and join us after Charlie, Roger?
Hang out and join us after Charlie, Roger? No, I'll stand by. I'm sorry I was a little late. Nate, standing by.
Thank you so much, Nate. Charlie, it's all yours, buddy. Good to see you.
Nate, Charlie, it's all yours, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know how well you're copying. I'm not copying you very strong direct, but I am copying you. Maybe you're getting me through Milford. I don't want to interfere with anybody. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Do you copy okay? K1GZL.
Roger, Roger. Charlie got a perfect copy on you on our, let's see, our Pennsylvania SDR. I got a perfect copy, and Nate said that he would stand by. So good afternoon to you.
He would stand by. So good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'll stand by. Let me know when you're ready.
Yes, sir. Ready now. Ready now, sir. Nate said he would stand by. So this is KC9VKV to K1GZL.
This is KC9VKV to K1GZL.
Okay, Roger. I had a very, very interesting contact with Captain Mike this morning. If you're copying okay, I think you'll get a much interest in it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Nate, I've got a perfect copy on you. I've got 20 over in Pennsylvania. Roger.
Copy on you. Got 20 over in Pennsylvania. Roger.
Okay, real fine. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Here is Captain Mike. Anybody listening? He's flying a jet. 2-engine Boeing 767 flying from Sacramento, California to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I picked him up here a little bit west of Chicago, That was about 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago on this Friday, the 14th of April, 2022, and here he is.
Here, Charlie, you're about a 5252. We're showing you 785 miles from our present position. So
Frequency is in use.
For the WAD. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Here, you had about a 55, so we're about 40 miles now west of Chicago. Yeah, we're probably at the maximum at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see as we get past the lake if it's going to change any.
39,000.
Joliet, and yeah, you were about the same on that south antenna as you were at 1 watt on the quad there. You were about a 5.2, 5.3, somewhere in there, but a decent copy there on that south antenna. Too bad I'm not going to be heading south anytime soon, but maybe someday I'll head out there and we'll do another contact down there, down in south. I forget where last time I think we were down in Panama, or maybe was it Santo Domingo, somewhere down there. But anyway, here we are coming up over Joliet, Charlie, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Illinois.
Chicago, I guess that's Glenwood, Illinois. It's probably a suburb of Chicago, coming up over Linwood and Chicago Heights. But yeah, you're still as strong as ever, Charlie. And all I can say, Charlie, is follow the doctor's orders, stay off the ladder, and I think you'll be just fine. Hopefully, Dave might be able to help you out with that. As a matter of fact, last time when Mike was over at my place, we had to change some cordage on one of the infed antennas as well, because it had been up there for years and it was frayed out and coming apart. Surprisingly, it was still hanging up there. But anyway, just coming up south of O'Hare and headed in your direction, Charlie. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. We're about 18 miles north of Toledo, or Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne at 390 with 510 miles to go. Still estimating Philly at 45 your time, Charlie. And you're dropped down a little bit, but you're still 5.9 plus. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. Good, Charlie. Yeah, so it is dropping. So I think we figured out where that peak is down there out near Chicago area. I guess somewhere around Rockford, Illinois, down through maybe Gary, Indiana, South Bend, just by the peak, and then it starts to drop out after that. So I'm not sure how consistent that's going to be, but at least that's the way it was today, it appears. But anyway, all right, Charlie. Well, thanks for being there, and If I don't hear you this evening or this afternoon, we'll be listening. Well, I guess you won't be on tonight. Never mind. I thought you might be on with the group tonight. Okay, we'll talk to you on the ground. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie is clear, and QRT.
Philadelphia.
52, help me, over.
Okay, for Philadelphia.
On the ground, Philadelphia, facing north-northwest. You're about a 5-4, Charlie 54, on 40 meters upper sideband, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, Jim, that is it. I hope that came through. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Sounded just beautiful. Copied you 20 over all the way, so thank goodness for Pennsylvania SDR. Any word on your amp work?
SDR. Any word on your amp work?
No, I haven't heard a thing. I have not heard a thing. I'm still only running about 50 watts, about 50 watts. That's all, unfortunately all I'm running. By the way, you might be interested. Yesterday we had a temperature that did hit 70 degrees. 70 degrees. It was a sunny day but hazy. And elsewhere in New Hampshire, the temperature were in places up to 86, 88 degrees. And yet we still have a few isolated spots of snow in the most protected, shady areas. A little dot of snow here and there in the shade. Outside of that, the ground now is bare. The grass is brown as it could ever be. No buds out at all on the trees up here at 2,030 feet on the Quebec border of northern New Hampshire. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, just so good to hear you, sir. I'm so glad that you got with us this afternoon. We always love to open our show up with your insights with Captain Mike and your vast knowledge of ham radio. So thank you very much, sir.
Knowledge of ham radio. So thank you very much, sir.
Well, it's always a pleasure working you, and just keep up the good work you're doing with all the new operators and everybody that have new equipment and getting set up, getting equipment set up. So we'll say 7-3, and we'll hopefully catch you on time next Friday. Sorry about being a little bit late there. KC9VKV, K1GZL, 73.
73, Charlie. Have a good day and a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and we've got Nate, I think, let's see, KC3VHD. Nate, are you still with us, sir?
KC3VHD. Nate, are you still with us, sir?
Hey, Roger, I still hear you. Charlie was unaudible to me, though. He was right in my noise floor there, coming in about an S5 there, right at the noise floor. Copy?
Yes, sir. He's got a really big amp, but unfortunately it's at the doctor's office for a coughing visit, and we've not got any word on when it may be cured and sent back to Charlie. Roger?
Any word on when it may be cured and sent back to Charlie. Roger?
Oh, hey, Roger, I didn't know he's having trouble. Yeah, I'm just running 100 watts in the wire here. You're coming in loud and clear, though. You're full S9 here to Washington, Pennsylvania. How am I doing on your end?
Gosh, I'm copying you through Pennsylvania SDR, and you seem to be about 8 over on that SDR. If you would be interested, what we do on this net is do transmitter setups. So if you would be interested, what radio are you running this afternoon, Nate?
You would be interested, what radio are you running this afternoon, Nate?
That'd be the Yaesu FT891 with an inverted V, 80-meter dipole.
Roger, FT891. Is that a newer radio or an older radio?
Roger, FT891 is
that a newer radio or an older radio?
I believe it's older technology. It's not SDR, it's old transistor, but it's the small little shack in the box, Roger.
Roger. Now, let me ask you another question. It sounds like you might be in some duress in your Radio Shack. Where is your Radio Shack located? I mean, is it in it sounds like it's in a work area, maybe. I'm not real sure, Roger.
It sounds like it's in a work area, maybe. I'm not real sure, Roger. It's in my wife's office here, sir. How you sounding?
Well, it sounds like pretty pushed. So if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts, usually with newer radios, we suggest selecting the 100 to 2900 transmit band pass, 100 to 2900 transmit band pass, but your radio may be a fixed band pass, so it is what it is. So our first part of the setup procedure is compression on at a 3. It's a token amount, something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us reach our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. So it's a compressor on at a 3. Then that's a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how your compressor is labeled, Roger.
Your compressor is labeled, Roger. Okay, Roger. I'm not sure. I never really went through. I'm just running all the stock settings, basically. You copy that?
Yes, sir, but you're too hot. You're very hot. Your dynamic range is like about a dB, so you're really smashed. You sound smashed up against the wall. And what I'd like to do is give your audio a little life. And so if you would be interested in our setup, you're very loud, but you're not distorted. So it starts with a compression on at a 3, Roger.
So it starts with a compression on at a 3, Roger. Roger, at Kilo Charlie 3, Victor Hotel Delta. Hey, I just switched my mic gain. How's that?
No, well, do you know how to get to a number 3 on your compressor? Just dial up number 3, a compression number 3 input, Roger, on your compressor.
Dial up number 3, a compression number 3 input, Roger, on your compressor. Hang on, I gotta look that up.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Is it simpler just to back off the compression? You know, what we're talking about is such a little bit of compression. It really doesn't make any difference one way or the other. So if you have a compression out switch, compression off, that would do just fine also without having to look it up. Roger?
Compression off, that would do just fine also without having to look it up. Roger? You're an idiot.
Thank you very much, sir. And so as you observe life, seem to be the same family. So Nate, like I say, you can back off that compression, just turn it off.
You can back off that compression, just turn it off. You keep babbling with him.
Hi, Nate. Still have a copy, sir?
Still have a copy, sir? Yeah, I'm not sure where that setting control is, so I'm not going to be able to copy today, okay? How often do you run this net? I'll come back to you again when I find these.
Yes, sir. Every Friday afternoon so far for the last 6 years. Every Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5 on this frequency, 7188 for the past 6 years. Hopefully we'll continue for another 6 years, but we'll need to know the location for your compressor, where your ALC is, and where your equalization is to set your radio up. So you might look those up and then join us next Friday.
Hey, Roger that. I'll give that a shot next time, sir. Thank you for wanting to help me.
Yes, so you did know where your mic gain control is, Roger?
You did know where your mic gain control is, Roger? There's a compression switch on the back of the mic there. That's all. I just turned it to the other setting.
Roger. Well, it sounds better that way. You were really hot before. What we do is we take it on from the compression on right on through to the ALC and set your level really where you have 3 dB dynamic range, so it's very fat but undistorted, and your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85% of average peak modulation, and then we go into your EQ. So we'll be looking for you next Friday, Roger.
We'll be looking for you next Friday, Roger. Hey, Roger, this is Kilo Charlie 3 Victor Hotel Delta. I'll ride along for a little bit, see if you can help somebody else out. Thank you very much. 73.
Roger, Nate, 73 up that way. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, and we record now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo, Delta 2, Delta, Yankee, Juliet. Over.
Was that Delta Yankee Juliet, Roger?
Was that Delta Yankee Juliet, Roger?
Roger that.
All right, Delta Yankee Juliet, and what's the name there?
All right, Delta Yankee Juliet, and what's the name there?
My name is Joe, Juliet Oscar Echo.
Roger, Joe, and what's your location?
Roger, Joe, and what's your location?
Candy Edge is about 60 miles south of Cincinnati, and we're in a little city called Owenton, Owenton, Kentucky. Over.
Roger, copy in Kentucky. And Joe, what radio are you running?
Roger, copy in Kentucky. And Joe, what radio are you running?
Come back to me in a little bit.
All right, Joe, what radio are you running today, sir?
All right, Joe, what radio are you running today, sir?
And FPDX 1200 by Yezu.
Roger, Joe. And gosh, if you'd be interested in our setup, starts with you verifying you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit band pass. 100 to 2900 called wide. That will give you the best performance for your transmitter. So double check there if you know how, where your bandwidth is, your bandwidth selector, and it should be in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger.
2900 transmit bandwidth with Roger.
Roger that. We're there.
Alrighty, next thing is engage your compressor on at a 3. It's a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100. Compression on and just a third. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger, or normal, depending on how it's labeled.
10 or 30 out of 100, Roger, or normal, depending on how it's labeled.
I think I'm running everything normal according to, the instruction setup.
Gosh, do you have control over your compressor? Can you put it on manually? Put it on a 3? That's what we call for in the setup. I'm not sure about the other setup. I'm sure about my setup. So,
I'm not sure about the other setup. I'm sure about my setup. So,
I'm not exactly. I haven't played with that part of it yet, so I'm not really familiar with that.
Alrighty, do you know how to turn your compressor off?
Alrighty, do you know how to turn your compressor off?
Well, I'm looking for a button for a dial, and I don't see one. Put my glasses on. And what's that?
You're looking for a button that says comp, C-O-M-P.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think this more than that. Joey, we're going to have some knowledge of your radio for you to be able to follow my lead as we set it up. You're going to have to know where your compressor is, mic gain, ALC, equalization. You should look in your book and find out where and how to get to these things. I can't reach out through the radio and do them. You'll have to do them. I can assist you in setting it up, but you will have to know where those places are. Roger, Roger?
But you will have to know where those places are. Roger, Roger?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. But I'd have to do some further investigation to find out where that. I'm looking for the comp button, and I do not see one on that thing. There's so many buttons on this, and I just don't see one that says comp.
Roger, Joe. Well, let's take it just a step further. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
See the PROC. Let's see if that helps out. Hold on.
Hello, Joe. This is KC9VKV. Just a couple of questions here. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
Yeah, just a couple of questions here. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
Okay, the processor or the PROC is on.
Yes, sir. But the question is, at what level? I'm looking for a 3. Our setup calls for a 3 on the compressor. But forget the compressor. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
But forget the compressor. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
Oh, I have that off.
Joe, we need the ALC meter to proceed with the rest of the setup. I'm sorry you have it turned off. Just select ALC, turn it on.
You have it turned off. Just select ALC, turn it on.
Hey, Joe?
Hey, Joe?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm also looking for the ALC again, and I know I played with it once before, and I was told not to use that with the setup that I was using. So let's try to find that again, and we'll see what happens. Hold on a second.
Joe, it's not a control; it's a meter. Your ALC meter. But let me just give you a couple of notes or so, and maybe we can do this at a later time. The first thing is you're going to need to know about your compressor, how to put it in line and out of line and adjust its level. You're going to need to know where the ALC is, your ALC meter, and how to bring it up and how to adjust it by way of mic gain control. So you're going to have to know where your mic gain control is, and you're going to need to know where your equalization page is and how to control your equalizers in that area. So, and I'm just giving you notes on those things, and without the knowledge of those, we really can't do anything. Roger, Roger?
And without the knowledge of those, we really can't do anything. Roger, Roger?
Well, I found it. It's on flow. The ALC is on flow.
Is on flow?
And fast.
Is that on flow or slow?
Roger.
Which one, slow or flow?
Slow.
S-L-O-W.
Slow or flow?
Okay, so that is a technical aspect of it. That's not the level. That just says how fast it comes back, how fast it regains. Slow is just, and that's not even really a term for AGC or your compressor. Usually the compressor just has an input output control, if that. Maybe it just has an input control. Usually your attack and recovery are fixed, and you just have the input output control. But that's what we really need, the input output control, or the input control to the compressor. Roger?
The input output control, or the input control to the compressor. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Well, the reason that I broke in on your net is I just had my antenna down, and it got slightly damaged in the windstorm that we had, and I had to straighten out a few of my radios. So I was just wondering. I checked my SWR, and SWR is fine, and I was just wondering how we were making the trip, and that was it.
Roger, Joe. So you're down in Kentucky there. Roger, Roger. Sounds pretty good. Now, what kind of antenna was that? Is that a beam antenna of some sort?
Antenna was that? Is that a beam antenna of some sort?
Negative. It's a vertical made by Gap. George Alpha Papa. And it's got a counterpoise at the bottom, which the 40-meter band works off of. And those radio arms got bent in the last storm that we had. So I had to straighten all of them out and recheck the SWR, etc. It says I'm good to go, and I just wanted to verify that. Over.
Roger, Roger, Joe. Well, I think you're good to go, sir. You know, the thing is, if hang on just a second. If you know, it's a vertical antenna, and the antenna is vertical, and if the counterpoise is looks the way it's supposed to, and your SWR is non-existent or reasonable, I would say if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Close enough. The thing is about the SWR. If it all looks the same, looks what it should look like, and the SWR is within where it should be, then it's good to go, Roger.
And where it should be, then it's good to go, Roger.
Okay, well, listen, I thank you very much, and I'll look for those other functions, and sooner or later I'm going to have to get into them, especially when my new amp comes in. I'll have to set the ALC and and other functions like that. So it's just a matter of time. This radio I just picked up maybe a couple of months ago, so I'm not very well familiar with it. Please bear with me. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 10, 11 years now, so I'm a little bit versed, but there's still things that are above my head.
Yes, sir. Well, a new radio can put you can put you under the situation real quick, because a new radio is like a whole new ball game there. So you need to dig out that manual for the new radio. Find out where your compressor is and how to adjust it. Find out how your ALC meter is and how to bring it up, and where your mic gain is and how to use that. And again, your equalization, what kind of equalization you have, and how to control that. And then that's the stuff that we need to know to be able to guide you to a very loud sound, but very undistorted sound, perfect audio with a good articulation. And that's the whole name of the game, articulation. We, really need to get that radio to where it's understandable, even in a situation where you're only 1 dB above somebody's noise level with 5 carriers in there at the same time. So, and that's what we do. So maybe we'll see you next Friday there, Joe, and you'll have a chance to look up all that stuff. Roger, Roger?
You'll have a chance to look up all that stuff, Roger.
Roger. I can tell you my mic gain is at 30. I'm using a Yaesu MD100 test mic, and I had that set at 30. Other people said that my modulation was excellent. So that's we'll look for you next week. And thanks for coming back. Thanks for the insight that you gave me. I appreciate it. And we'll go from there.
Roger, Joe. Thank you, sir. 73 that way, and maybe we'll see you next Friday. If you want to hear what your audio sounds like at this point, we are recording now live till 5. And did record our conversation, so if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. It's go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and I'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. Roger?
That. I thank you very much. Well, I don't want to hold up your net, etc. So this is Kilo Delta 2, Delta Yankee Juliet, and we're signing off. 73 to you and to all people on your frequency.
Roger there, Joe. 73 to you, sir. And I may be going fishing here in a minute. I never know what kind of workload we're under. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. So, it just depends on Mother Nature, the propagation, and the population. That's neat. Propagation and population. Some kind of association there. Anyway. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8th, Bravo, Charlie Oscar.
November 8th, Charlie Oscar. Is that a Roger?
November 8th, Charlie Oscar. Is that a Roger?
November 8th, Bravo, Charlie Oscar. November 8th.
Roger, Bravo, Charlie, Oscar. What's the name there?
Roger, Bravo, Charlie, Oscar. What's the name there?
Okay, the name is Ron here. We talked last week, and I was going to hook up my amp. In the course of this week, my amp died, so this is all I got. Maybe if you've got a good signal on me, we can get this audio set right, my friend.
We can try there, Ron. We certainly can try. What's your location?
We can try there, Ron. We certainly can try. What's your location?
I'm in Mountain, Ohio. It's about an hour northwest of the center of the state.
Roger, in Ohio. And what radio are we working on?
Roger, in Ohio. And what radio are we working on?
I adopted a ICOM 7300 a couple of weeks ago, and what a learning curve, but we're figuring it out.
Okay, copy 7300. Is that a Roger?
Okay, copy 7300. Is that a Roger?
All righty, Ron. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and let me look around, see if I can find the best path for us. And if you'll go ahead and give me 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
If you'll go ahead and give me 10 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, Roger.
Okay, well, that's what I use on this frequency. It seems to be favoring the south, but anyway, there I am. There's 10 seconds of
Roger, Ron. Well, I've got a pretty good signal on my local antenna, so that's nice. You seem to be about 8 dB over my noise level on my local antenna. So let me first say we want to be sure we're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900 bandwidth on that 7300. Roger?
Roger, we set that up last week when we were talking, and also at that time you had me increase the treble a couple of clicks, and I think it's a 4 on compression, and that's where we are, my friend.
Yes, sir. So we're in that wide mode, and then we went to the compressor, and you're in a 3 out of 10 on that radio, Roger?
Actually, it's 4 out of 10.
Yeah, we want it on a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 on that radio. We usually suggest that a third of the compressor. You know, when you start moving past that, you start getting a pump up between words, and we don't really need that. A 3 and a 6 are just about the same, you know, as far as actually working on the word, except the difference is the 6 gives you suck up between the words, and we don't want to hear people mumbling in the background and, you know, stuff like that. So a 3 on that compressor. Roger, roger.
Okay, we're at 3 now. I made the adjustment.
Yes, sir. And now to your ALC. Double check your level on your ALC. With mic gain in hand and the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3 reading. Roger.
Audio, 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 audio. Looks like we're about 2/3.
Yes, sir. Now that I've got a good copy on you, tell me the best thing you like about your 7300.
Okay, I'm using a SM5 desk mic on it.
Repeat the last.
It's an SM5 desk mic, an Icon mic.
Alrighty. So tell me the best thing you know, in about 10 seconds. I need about 10 seconds to be able to evaluate your audio. Roger.
Okay, like I said, I've played with this one. I've learned how to go from place to place, put some memories in it, set it up for FT8, and that's a whole other ball game. Set it up for FT8, and that's a whole other ball game I've been doing. Then I decided I gotta try one, and I think I'm glad I did, my friend.
Roger, roger, Ron. Well, the main thing is, you know, the audio sounds good. I think what we need to do is get that consistency. You know, leave your ALC meter out so you can look at that as you're speaking, and use that as a tool. And you want to be in that sweet spot as much as you can be, and that relates to your volume. And maybe you might want to twix your mic volume on the radio a tad, just so that you're mainly in that sweet spot. We don't want to go past the sweet spot, which is 2/3 on the ALC meter. We don't want to get up in the red at all. We want to stay right there. The sweet spot is at 2/3 on the ALC meter, and so if we have it out and looking at it, then we can see precisely what we're doing. The ALC meter is the Bible for radios. It tells you exactly what's going on the transmit side. Roger? Yes, yes, sir. I think we've got it right there. You know, from what I can copy of it, now I don't have a really good copy. You're only about 2 or 3 dB above my noise level, my local noise level, and so you know, there you go. If I had a better signal, I could be, you know, absolutely perfectly sure everything's copacetic. But as it sounds, from what I can hear, it sounds beautiful. You will have to listen to it and get your opinion. And if you would be interested, go to YouTube and do a call in a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook on a YouTube search, and then it'll take you right to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2500, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Your melodious voice of mine as well. Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm going to leave her alone here, and stronger signal, but that's the project for another day. Anyway, 73, I'm sure appreciate it, and enjoy the Qso, NACCS.
Roger, roger, Ron. Now, I just maybe tell you that, you know, I have been around the horn. I have 4 internet SDR receivers around to help my 100-watt friends, and the best copy I had was on my Pennsylvania SDR, my local antenna, and those were, you know, just kind of so-so, maybe 2 or 3 dB above my noise level. So I'm suggesting to you that maybe you might want to consider a more effective antenna, a more efficient output antenna, which would be a resonant-tuned dipole antenna. If you get a chance, if you might be interested, put up a resonant dipole antenna, and you can, you can pick out the area that you want to concentrate your signal on, depending on who you would be interested in communicating with, because those antennas radiate broadside to the wire. So you put the wire broadside to your target, and that starts the what they call it, ADI. Your efficiency over your area of dominant influence. It's an old broadcast term, but what it means is you identify where you want to go with your signal, mostly, and so you arrange your resonant dipole to where it maximally radiates to that area from the very beginning. And then if you had an AV switch, that you could switch between your antenna that you're using now and your new resonant tuned dipole antenna, you could really hear the difference, back and forth. And it gives you an option. And the whole name of the game in, ham radio is the more options you have, transmit and receive, the better you're going to be. If you're locked into one antenna, you have no options, but with two antennas, you have twice the options as you had before with an AV switch. Roger, Roger?
I do understand. My problem is where my trees live. This antenna is resonant at like 7250 because I operate mid-state South the others. Anyway, I got to grow some trees to do that. Anyway, I do appreciate it. That's part of our problem is you're off the
Roger, Ron, I think Mother Nature has pulled the plug on us for the moment. I went around the horn. I couldn't copy you anywhere. So let me say 73 there, bud. And if you get a chance, check it out on YouTube. And if you get a chance next Friday, join us. We'd love to have you. So 73, Ron. And we'll catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Bravo 8, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar.
Kilo Bravo 8, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. Is that a Roger?
Bravo 8, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. And what's the name there?
Roger, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. And what's the name there?
We doubled. This is KC9VKV, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. What's the name there?
KC9VKV, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. What's the name there?
The name here is
You're doing a great job.
running QRP, full watch into a rain gutter, over.
Try again, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. What is the name?
Try again, Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar. What is the name?
Name here is Jamie, J-A-M-I-E, Jamie, Steubenville, Ohio.
All right, and you're in Ohio, and what is that radio that you're QRPing with?
And you're in Ohio, and what is that radio that you're QRPing with?
It is a USDX Plus version 2, running it into my rain gutter.
Running into your rain gutter. Well, let's see. I almost have a copy on you on Pennsylvania. I'll tell you what, why don't you tell me a little bit about the radio, and I'll see if I can find a better copy for us, Roger.
I'll see if I can find a better copy for us, Roger.
Okay, version 2. It is an all-mode 8-band SDR radio. Putting out 4 watts into my rain gutter. I'm here in Steubenville, Ohio, 40 miles west of Pittsburgh, 20 miles north of Wheeling, West Virginia, here on the Ohio River. Over.
Hey, Roger that. You're in Ohio and running 4 watts, and I've got that radio you're running it in a gutter or a rain barrel. I'm not real sure about that one.
Or a rain barrel. I'm not real sure about that one.
I'm using my rain gutter for an antenna. I've got a 49-to-1 transformer hooked to my rain gutter, and it works pretty good, over.
All right, now let me just ask you a question. What happens if it rains? Do you have a rising SWR or not?
If it rains, do you have a rising SWR or not?
It actually works better.
Roger. So there you go, man. You need the Indians to come along with a rain dance so you can get out, Roger.
Need the Indians to come along with a rain dance so you can get out, Roger.
All right.
All right, so Foxtrot Bravo Zanzibar, try me one more name, one more time on the name phonetically, Roger.
One more time on the name phonetically, Roger.
Juliet, Alpha, Mexico, India, Echo,
Jamie. Okay, Jamie. Now, see, the reason I did that is because I had Zany for your name. So I'm glad we verified that's Jamie, Roger.
I'm glad we verified that's Jamie, Roger.
Roger. Ohio.
Yes, sir, I got that. Now, the thing is, I think you have a very good volume setting at the moment, but I'm just giving you a little thought for consideration. Since you're running that low power, I think I would crank the audio up. We're not talking necessarily about quality here. We're talking about being heard. So right now you look to be about 100% level, but I think you would probably stand a better chance of being heard if you cranked your volume on up in excess of where you are, maybe 2 or 3 clicks, Roger?
In excess of where you are, maybe 2 or 3 clicks, Roger.
Give me a second here and I'll give it a try.
I don't, if you're a perfectionist, well, you can't be a perfectionist and run 4 watts. You're going to have to get down and do some skullduggery to get that signal up as best you can. And one of those ways is just to pump that audio pretty hard. Kind of go to maybe a 2 dB dynamic range instead of 3 and more. You want to crunch that audio and push it because you don't have much RF there, and so you need to get that AF as hot as you can, Roger.
So you need to get that AF as hot as you can, Roger.
Is that any better? That's about the best I can do.
I think you're on the right trail now. Is your mic level all the way up on that?
Is your mic level all the way up on that?
I'm up to the factory default.
Alrighty. Does that radio have an equalizer? Do you have an equalizer on that radio?
Does the radio have an equalizer? Do you have an equalizer on that radio?
Jamie, do you have an equalizer on that radio?
Jamie, do you have an equalizer on that radio?
No, sir, I don't.
Roger. Okay. Pull back off mic about 2 inches from where you were and try it again. Same level. Don't change the level. Just pull back off mic about 2 inches from where you were and let me hear you again, Roger.
Off mic about 2 inches from where you were and let me hear you again, Roger.
All right, I've backed off about 2 inches. Is that any better there, over?
I think that's better now. Go back about 1 inch. So I only want you 1 inch off that mic. You can close in halfway to 1 inch off the mic and try that, Roger.
You can close in halfway to 1 inch off the mic and try that, Roger.
Okay, my friend, I'm 1 inch off of the microphone right now.
Yes, sir, Jamie. Now, that's better. Now, let me just ask you a question. Is that a hand mic or a desk mic?
Now, let me just ask you a question. Is that a hand mic or a desk mic?
It's a hand mic. In fact, it is a Bluefang microphone. It's a Bluefang mic.
Roger, Roger. Okay, the best way to do that, Mike, is pull it to the corner of your lips. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Pull that mic up to the corner of your lips, touch your lips with it as you talk, and talk across it. Don't talk directly into it, but talk, pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Directly into it, but talk, pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Okay, now I'm doing that. I have modified this microphone a little bit. I opened the hole on something and put a piece of foam across the opened up hole. Over.
All right, so just pull that right to your the corner of your lips and talk across it. I don't know. Since you've got a piece of foam in there, maybe you can just pull it right to your mouth and talk right into it. Roger, let's try that. Pull it right to the front of your mouth and talk right into it. Let me listen.
Let's try that. Pull it right to the front of your mouth and talk right into it. Let me listen.
Okay, I'm right up against it. My mustache is rubbing the microphone over.
Okay, I think it's still better off to the side. And if you had volume, I would go up one more click, plus a click boost level from where you are. Just a little more level, and bring it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Level, and bring it to the corner of your lips and talk across it.
Give me a second here. I got to get back into the menu. Be right back.
All righty there, Jamie. I'm hanging out, sir. We're going to get you 10.8, that small wattage, 4 watts. We're going to make that 4 watts dance.
The small wattage, 4 watts. We're going to make that 4 watts dance.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what we're hanging out for. Jamie, what are we hanging out for?
Jamie, what are we hanging out for?
Yeah, I made a change. How's that now? 88 SDG.
Yes, sir. I think you're hitting it pretty good there. It's still got a little life, so we need to hit it a little harder. We want to sledgehammer that audio. For 4 watts, you need to really hit that audio. Now, I'm just another question out of curiosity. Do you understand microphone circuitry very much? I mean, about electret microphones and all that stuff.
Circuitry very much. I mean, about electret microphones and all that stuff.
All right, there's a thing that I use. It's called a CRISPR. This is a homebrew thing that jacks up the high end of the audio spectrum. It's a passive device that I use instead of a manual electronic equalizer to jack up the top end of the audio. And what this is a little cylindrical thing. Like, I don't know if you know what a phono plug uses, that little rubber piece that's on a phono plug. And I use a razor blade, and I cut it to about 2/3 of an inch back into the rubber part, and then it just fits over an electret condenser microphone. And what it is, it sits out about a 1/2 inch in front of the element, and it just fits. The element fits into the sleeve, and then it's got about a 1/2 inch of protrusion around the element in front of the audio, and it shapes the ballistics of the acoustics in that it has a rising equalization curve from 1 kC up to about 6 kC. By 6 or 7 kC, you're +8. In a flat circuit, you'll be +8, Roger, which will really help your intelligibility. Roger.
+8, Roger, which will really help your intelligibility. Roger.
Yeah, Jamie, you're kind of getting hit by some blow-by from somewhere. I don't know, it's adjacent frequency or something, but I'm just telling you about a little passive device that I call the CRISPR, that you get it. It's the rubber shield around a phono jack, and you just take a razor blade and you cut the round part before it tapers down. You cut that, and then it'll slip right into your over your condenser electret condenser element, and it'll stick out about half an inch, and it will acoustically give you a rising equalization passively and make that mic much more active at the top end of the frequency range, Roger, which will help your intelligibility.
The top end of the frequency range, Roger, which will help your intelligibility.
I have done that.
Yes, sir, and that gives you a real nice top end, nice bright top end that will help you tremendously in your your 4 watts. Really help the modulation, give it a really bright sound, Roger.
Really help the modulation, give it a really bright sound, Roger.
Well, all right, Jamie, let me say 73, sir. Thanks for dropping by, bud, and passing along a little information to you about electret microphones, and hope you'll be able to do that. That will really spruce up that audio a great deal. You still, you should put a windscreen over the overall thing. Don't put it, in other words, don't put it just inside the circle. That doesn't work because you'll still get transients. Put the electret microphone and the crisper all inside a foam windscreen, and then put it right up against the front end of the foam windscreen, and you'll be just beautiful. Nice top end,
just beautiful. Nice top end,
He asked you if he opened it up, did that sound any better?
I couldn't. I can't hear him, Joe. If you're there, buddy. I'm afraid, Jamie, conditions are such that you've kind of faded out there. Try one more time. I'll see if I can copy you.
You've kind of faded out there. Try one more time. I'll see if I can copy you.
I said I've also put a piece of foam around the condenser to block the hollowness of the microphone. I have done the modification already that you're talking about.
Yes, sir. That helps a great deal. Now, what you need to do is you need to get that foam windscreen around the whole thing. Don't try to put it just around the opening. Put it around the whole microphone, and that way you'll be able to get right on top of that microphone, stand up and jump and whatever you need to do on that microphone, and the foam windscreen will take out all of the no-nos. You'll be in perfect shape. Roger, try that. Just try to get that element inside the foam windscreen, Roger.
Inside the foam windscreen, Roger.
Roger, I have already done that. It's already been done, over.
Yes, sir. Now you're cooking. It's sounding good now. And I would like for you to give me about 15 seconds of audio to celebrate the occasion. Roger, I'm recording now.
Audio to celebrate the occasion. Roger, I'm recording now.
All right, thank you, my friend. I have done all the modifications already that you suggested. I just opened my transmit just a little bit more, my audio on my transmit. My default setting is 4, and I'm running it at 6 now. So hopefully that makes a difference. So back to you, my friend, KB8FBV.
Yes, sir. The best I've heard you. The best I've heard you. So it's being preserved now in recording. And if you want to hear your radio, go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. It'll bring up this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Thank you very much, my friend. You have made my day. I won't hold you any longer. Your ears are probably ready to bleed. But thanks for the help. I appreciate it. This is KB8FPZ, Jamie, at Stevensville High. 2 watts on a rain cutter.
4 watts on a rain barrel. Roger. 73 that way, Jamie, and we'll catch you next Friday if you get a chance. I'll be able to hear you now, I think. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I heard somebody there. Somebody come back again. RV, try that again.
Kilo Echo 4 Alpha Romeo Delta.
Romeo Delta, that's, come back again slowly with your call sign.
Kilo Echo 4 Alpha Romeo Delta.
Alpha Romeo Delta, roger.
Yes, my name's Dennis. I just got my ham shack set back up again, and heard you loud and clear. I'm just north of Atlanta, Georgia. Over.
Roger. Alpha Romeo Delta. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds? Let me look around, see if I can find us a better path. And then I'll find the best one, and we'll be ready to go. Roger. Tell me about your antenna system in 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm running.
Antenna system in 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I'm running. E200 Pro 2 auto tuner. Over.
Okay, I've got you on my local antenna, and you seem to be about 6 over, so it's a good signal. And if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you verifying that, well, let's see here. Gosh, let me make sure I got your call sign. Kilo Echo 4 Alpha Romeo Dog, is that a roger?
That is a roger. May I get your name?
Yes, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. Roger. And what's the name there?
Dennis.
All right, Dennis, and what's your location, sir?
Woodstock, Georgia.
All righty, we're up around Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio, right at Louisville. And what's your radio today, Dennis?
I'm running a 7300 barefoot off of an InFed.
Alrighty, if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, it starts with you verifying you're in that wide transmit mode, 100 to 2900. Are you familiar with that?
No, actually I'm running a Heil headset, and I got set it up for Heil.
Yes, sir, but yeah, I think we could probably do you a little bit better there. It starts with you verifying you're in that wide mode. Go to settings, transmit, sideband, and that will give you start with your your bandpass for your transmitter. We want it in that wide mode, 100 to 2900. Roger.
Okay, I'm not familiar with how to do that, to be honest with you.
Okay, you see a thing on your radio, the 7300, with like a cross between a wrench and something, Roger?
Okay, I've got it.
Okay, so it's settings, transmit, sideband, and that will bring up, I think, your 3 options for your bandpass. We want it on wide, 100 to 2900. Roger.
Okay, 100 to 2900.
Yeah, it probably was on that already. They usually send them default to that. What was it on that?
Yeah, they would be under function, correct?
No, that would be in the settings. It says settings, transmit, sideband, and then we should give you an option there of wide or whatever. We want it on wide, 100 to 2900. If you're not familiar with it, just make a note and we'll check it later. Roger.
Okay, what I've got is I don't have I don't have what you're looking for.
Well, you do. You just can't find it.
Well, that's true. Okay, I'll make notes here.
All right, so we want it on that wide transmit bandwidth. What it is, you know, you can select the bandwidth of the transmitter, and as you get into lesser capabilities like 2800, 2700, 20, whatever, that starts rolling off the top end. It's rolling off the bottom and the top. What we want is full performance out of your transmitter. So, you know, we'll handle the bottom end through EQ, but the top end, we need all the top end we can get. So that's why we want it in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Okay, I just find where he talked about. Yes, it is at the wide. It's sitting at 100 and 2900.
Yes, sir. Okay, so it's in that mode, Roger?
That is correct, Roger. Over.
Alrighty, now go to your compressor on at a 3. Compression on and a 3 on that radio. That's just a third of the compression capabilities, but it's all we need. So compression on at a 3, Roger?
Okay. Okay, compression's at 3. Over.
Alrighty, now move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. Roger?
Is that right?
That's the way to do it. You tell me when you get to 2/3 on your meter. That's the whole name of the game, though. Get that meter at the 2/3 level by way of mic gain control. Roger?
Okay, sounds good.
Not sounds, that's the way it looks on the meter. 2/3 on the meter. Roger?
Come back, please.
We're looking for 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain control. So as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. Roger?
Audio.
Mainly looking for the first part of that word, the audio part, the ah part, as a human signal generator. Roger, Roger?
Okay, that's what works. It's right at 2/3.
All right, now move to your equalizer, if you know how to get there.
Okay, I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, it's the same thing. It's a step just past bandwidth after you select, sideband, and then it goes to your tone control. Roger?
Okay, we're in wideband. Just past that, you said?
Okay, yes, should be right on down the line there. That's a sequential, that's a branching program, I believe, and your equalizer, your tone control should be, transfer sideband and then tone control. Roger?
Okay, I'm seeing under transmit. I see the mid and the wide. I don't see the equalizer.
Okay, can you step past your wide, acknowledge wide, and move on to the next? I think it's the next thing.
Yeah, it comes up TVW mid.
What does it come up?
Yeah, mine comes up TVW mid and then TVW after wide.
Well, we want it in TVW wide is what we want it in, Roger? Or TBW, that's what we want, transmit bandwidth wide.
Okay, that's what I'm setting, and it's got this 100 to 2900.
All right, so note to self that what we want to do is add a couple of clicks to top-end EQ in addition to where you are. That only has a 2-band EQ. Leave the bass where it is. Crank in more 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger, roger.
There, I just added 2 clicks of treble.
2 clicks of treble EQ from where you are, additional. And that will really help out your articulation. And you can crank that in when you find it. Roger, roger.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. 73, sir. Sounding good. If you want to hear your radio at this point, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, thank you very much, and you have a pleasant day. 73, and thank you for the info. Over.
Roger, roger, Dennis. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV, W4RJM, handles Bob.
RJM, roger, roger. What's the name there? Oh, the name is Bob. Okay, and where are you, Bob?
Jim, I'm in northeast Alabama, a little town about 5 miles south of Gadsden called Rainbow City. Over.
Roger, roger, Bob. And what radio are you running today?
I'm running a good old FTDX 5000 I bought last year. Over.
Alrighty, sir. And does that have a selectable bandpass? And you can put that in like 100 to 2900?
I think it probably does. Let's say band pass.
It's called band transferred bandwidth, TBW. Option is maybe 100 to 2900. Some radios call it wide.
Let's see, like width?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100 to 2900.
My width is set at 2.40.
Roger, and you can you bring it up from there?
And go to, there's 260. Where do you want me to go to?
2.9, 2.9. So your radio would be operating 100 to 2.9 KC. Roger.
I believe our AOC is where it needs to be. Testing 1, 2, 3. Over. How's that copies, Jim?
Well, let's go on with the setup procedure. So if you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, let's move to your compressor on and at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled. Roger?
Okay, let me see if I can find the compressor. That wouldn't be the processor, would it?
Yes, sir. It just depends on the manufacturer and what they choose to call it today. It's a compressor, but they can call it a processor, they can call it a dancer, or they can call it a whatever it is, but it's a compressor, Roger, and we want it on and at a 3, Roger.
Okay, excuse me. Let me turn that... Now the width, I've got it in the on position. I can undo it and it'll stay there, won't it?
Yes, sir. Compressor on and at a 3. Does it have an input adjustment control?
Trying to find it.
Looked like they would put it next to the on switch, but I'm asking too much.
Yeah, the processor is on. It's lit up above the frequency reading.
All right, now do you have an input control, like a 0 to 10 input or 0 to 100 on that processor input?
I'm not sure where it is. I just wanted to say howdy to you. Anyway, need to read the directions, don't I?
Well, that's all right. Do you know where your ALC meter is?
Yes, I do. ALC position now.
Alrighty, with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, adjust your ALC for a 2/3 reading by way of mic gain control. Roger?
Yeah, the AF gain, I'm right on 2/3, over.
Yes, sir. That looks good. I can see your audio on my meter. Do you know where your equalizer page is?
Let me look here. Let's see. You called anything else?
Tone control. Again, what it is an equalizer. Manufacturers, call it different things. One is the tone control. Roger?
Yeah, the mic EQ is on. It's not remembering where the knob or the button is. Let me see. Let me look here. Hold on just a minute.
All right, you want to take a note?
Yes.
Okay, want to add about 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. 2 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are. Hopefully you're just running a 2 or 3 band equalizer. If you're running are you running a multi-band equalizer?
Well, I really don't know. I've got an LDG AT1000 tuner below. That's not your question. Let's see here. I have to look it up in the book.
Well, I'll tell you what. If it's just a 2 or 3 band EQ, it'll be just 2 or 3 clicks boost on treble EQ from where you are. If it's a multi-band EQ, here's the deal. We want everything flat from 400 to 1.6K. For if you have many controls, we want all controls between 400 cycles and 1.6K flat. All right. Then for the top end, you'll have like a 2.4 and a 2.6 around through there. If you happen to have a 2.7, that's the ideal frequency, 2.7K. We want to boost that 3 clicks from where it is. 2.7 boost 3 clicks from where it is. Now, if you have a 2.4 and a 2.6 and like that, then you have to compromise and you have to go above 2.7 and push that 3 clicks and go below it to 2.4 and push that 3 clicks, Roger. A compromise.
Roger.
And I think the bottom end would be fine where it is for the moment, Roger.
Roger.
And I think that should put you in pretty good shape there. Get that modulation up on that ALC. That, when you go 2/3 on that ALC meter, that's the point that you want to be at. I would leave my ALC meter out and, just be looking at that as you're talking. So you just develop a relationship between you and your ALC meter and keep it right there in the sweet spot of 2/3, Roger.
Roger that. We're there now, I believe. Does it indicate we are?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It looks like we're about 3 dB, and that's exactly where we want it to be. I would leave all that the same. All you need to do is crank in some EQ when you find out where and how. Roger?
Roger that. Thank you, Jim. You have a great weekend as well. KC9VKV from W4RJM.
Roger, RJM. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much, Jim. You're a great guy.
All right, sir. 73, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and join us next Friday, and I'd like to hear that your radio with those that treble EQ cranked in there, two clicks. 73. This is, as I look on the clock on the wall, I see a dead fly, so we got to get out of here. Ooh. And if you have participated in this show, if you wanted to hear your audio, go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So, with that said, we'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, clear.
3, Jim.
Roger, 3's.
Kilo Echo 5. Audio. Jim, you still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Kilo Echo 5 Golf Yankee at Nashville, Tennessee. Last time I talked to you, I was talking to you, I don't know if you remember or not. You could probably look it up in your log, but I was on my 30S, and it died out on me. And I just want to come back and say hello to you. How do you copy me right now?
Yes, sir, sounding good. You might double-check your ALC level. With mic gain in hand, ALC meter out, audio is the word, the first part of that, audio, you become a human test generator and adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on the meter, on your ALC meter. Roger.
Yeah, everything looks good here, Jim. Everything looks good here. I'm just running a compromised antenna. I'm running a ring gutter antenna.
Roger, I just see your audio as not being quite as fat as what I would normally prefer, Roger, and that's why I wanted you to check your ALC.
Okay, let me look at it here. Okay, how about that, Jim? Is that any better? Can you see what?
All right, so you set your ALC by saying the word audio and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is 2/3, Roger.
Roger that, I did.
Try it again and string out that audio part, just so I can see it over here. Audio, and adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on the meter.
Okay, I think I've already done that, Jim. It's audio 1, 2, 3, 4. Audio test.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I spent months trying to find the perfect word to use as a human to electronic transfer to setter level, and it turned out that audio was the perfect word. If you look at that word on a frequency meter, a spectrum analyzer, you have information all the way from 25 cycles to 1.5 K. So it's an excellent noise to set an acoustic level for electronic evaluation. So audio is the word, Roger.
I'm doing the best I can here. I'm running a Nova 718 with 414. And that's it. And I've got it tuned up here, man. I'm on 0 SWR, 0 flat SWR here. And I'm right in the field. I don't think I can do it anymore, Jim.
All right, Bob, let me ask you a question. What is your mic level right at the moment? What is your mic level? What is your mic level right at the moment?
It's 5 to 6 on my scale.
All right, take it to 6 to 7. In other words, just bring it up a little bit and let me look at your audio.
Okay. Audio. That's 6 and 7 right there.
All right, just out of curiosity, let's find out what the maximum up is. Give me a 9. Give me audio at a 9, and let me see what that level is, Roger. We're going to bring it down, but right now I want to see what it is max. So with a 9 mic level, audio's the word.
Okay, audio.
Stretch out the first part of that word. Audio. Stretch it out.
Radio. It's going down here.
Mic all the way up then. Word is audio. Stretch out the front as far as you can, like 10 seconds. A nice tone. Roger. Audio.
Jim.
All right, that's max mic gain. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
All right, now bring it back to a 5. Bring it back to a 7 and let me listen. Yeah, Bob, I'm getting some pretty big lightning hits here. It's kind of sucking my RF level down a little bit, each one. But I would like to hear you in the clear for about 10 seconds at that level. If you could, tell me about your antenna system.
All right, I've just got a compromised antenna, very compromised. It's a rain gutter. I've got a rain gutter antenna using a 4-to-1 balance. That's pretty much it.
Okay, what kind of mic are you using?
Just using a stock hand mic.
A hand mic?
Stock hand mic.
All right, pull that hand mic to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Let it actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger.
Okay, there we go. I'll talk across it there, Jim.
Yes, sir, that's much better. It cuts down on all the mouth noises. So that's the way I want you to run that hand mic, just like that. Actually pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger.
Roger. How's that sound, over?
Well, I just got hit by a good lightning strike. Try it again. Tell me 10 seconds about the radio and what you like best about it.
All right, just 718. I got 718. Maybe I should go up on the mic gain here a little bit. What do you think, Jim?
Well, you're 7 out of 10 now.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, are you bringing on? What's your mic level input?
Let's see. No, I'm only running at 5 here.
Okay, take it up to a 7. Take it up to a 7. I thought we had agreed that a 7 would be the level.
Right, 4 to 5 on the ALC.
All right, with your setting as you talk on mic. To the corner of your lips, do the word audio and adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC.
Okay, here we go. Audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. That's 29. 7 and 8, over.
Yeah, and your ALC is 2/3, Roger.
Roger.
That's your level. I would make a note of that and keep it right there, and I would work that mic just like that to the corner of your lips and talk across it, Roger.
Roger that. Okay, I'll let you go, Jim. Appreciate the help there. You know, I had your call log misplaced. Come back with your I had your call sign mislog. Come back with the call sign if you could.
Yes, sir, Bob. Call sign is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And I'll repeat, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,500 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and then I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much, Jim. And I'll say 73 to you. And we appreciate you being here. Help amateur radio operators out with their radios, no doubt. Kilowatt Charlie 9, Victor, Quebec, Victor, KC9VKV. Bye-bye, Jim.
Roger. Bob, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and see you next Friday if we get a chance. This is KC9VKV, and we got to get out of here. Return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV will be clear.